I shut down my laptop and stretched my body. It's been 6 hours since I immersed myself in work. I am working remotely this month, and most of the time, I'll be staying at home with my family, my husband, and kids. I rested for a few minutes and took a moment to think about my life. Since I was young, I always wanted to make a name and live independently. At a very young age, I made my way out of the gutters of poverty. I worked hard and I was able to support my needs, especially my studies during my college years. And I did it. From scratch, I was able to build myself, launch a business, and met the love of my life. I am beyond grateful to meet my husband, as he gave me meaning to my life by loving me unconditionally and giving me 3 kids that are beyond beautiful. Everything in my life and career was in place. I have a supportive family and a booming business. However, I never imagined that my life would become a battleground where tradition clashed with independence since I married my husband. Don't get me wrong, this miserable notion is not because of my husband Leo, but his mother, my mother-in-law Greta. My name is Nicole, and I refuse to conform to the role of a subservient daughter-in-law. And I never knew that being independent would affect me so much. My mental health and even upholding my right and performing my responsibilities to my own family. The day that my husband and I wed, I was surprised when he told me that his mother will be living with us. I knew that he had the personality of a mama's boy, but not to the point that his mother will be with us, overseeing his moves all the time. I could remember during our reception when my husband told me about it.
My love, I have something to tell you, and I guess you will like it.
He smiled at me and my heart skipped a beat. I was anticipating what he was going to reveal to me. What is it, my love? My voice is full of excitement.
My mother is going to live with us.
My smile dropped as soon as I heard it. I mean, I appreciate his mother, but to live with us? That is just crossing the boundary. What do you mean? I asked him. My voice was full of confusion.
Mother will be living with us for good. Isn't that great? She will be able to help us in running things around the house, especially when we work. With my mother around, household chores will be easier, and she can help us with decision making. You know that my mommy knows best, right?
I heaved a sigh. This cannot be it. We won't have our autonomy inside the house. I know how controlling Leo's mother can be, and I could tell that she's quite infamous for it. She even talked to me harshly when we were still girlfriend and boyfriend. She would tell me that she hates me because I'm too independent and that I would overpower my husband someday and I would hurt his ego. I don't understand her point. Wouldn't she be happy that I will be helping her son with financial matters someday? So during that moment, I was so confused about having her with us inside the house. I'm sorry, my love, I don't get it.
What context you didn't get, Nicole?
My eyes widened as I saw my mother-in-law standing beside my husband. She held her son's arms and caressed them. She also whispered to him. My brows frowned at what they were talking about. This is my wedding day and it is supposed to be happy and special, but my mother-in-law is ruining it. I saw Leo nodding at her with panic in his eyes, and he looked at me again.
Mommy thinks you hate her, love.
My jaw dropped. What is happening here? I never said that. I just don't understand why we have to decide this thing today out of all the days. And we plan to move out immediately so that we can finally start as a family together. My mother-in-law faked a sob.
So, clearly you don't like me living with you?
My husband panicked and immediately hugged her. And I was just right there standing in front of them dumbfounded. She's a manipulator. So I heaved a sigh and just nodded. Alright, I'm fine with it. I'm sorry. I leave them there. I feel so upset and down during my wedding day and even during our honeymoon at a 5-star hotel She insisted on booking a room next to ours. This is completely fucking insane. And 5 years later, I am still stuck with her. From the day of our wedding, Greta made it clear that I fell far short of her expectations. I was not the docile, stay at home wife she had envisioned for her son Leo. Living under her roof became a nightmare as she exerted control over every aspect of our lives. Greta's need for power overshadowed any semblance of harmony within our home. It is clear to everyone that I ran my own successful business and managed our family's finances with confidence and expertise. However, my fierce independence was met with disdain by Greta. She always pinpoints that a wife must obey her husband and must stay at home, but I'm the complete opposite. I would travel around the country for business trips, and whenever I am at home, I would be working on my laptop. But it doesn't mean that I am slacking on my responsibilities as a mother and wife, because I was still able to manage everything properly. But Greta kept on insisting that I must shut down my business. She's such a controller and manipulator. She wants everything that she wants to be followed. I have worked all my life to get there, and she cannot just take it away from me. Sometimes my husband would side with his mother, but it is clear that he was only doing it to stop a potential fight between us. And most of the time, he understands me. He listens to me and would give me advice. But I would say that his advice is rather neutral. He has a diplomatic personality, and that is what I like about him. We have so many things in common, even the food that we are allergic to. Black pepper, we hate it very much. I am just so lucky to have a husband as understanding as Leo, but I wish he would step up more and make things straight inside the house. But as the years went by, I learned how to live with her. I learned how to control everything that she does and makes inside the house. I learned how to endure all her mistreatments and insulting side comments. I gave her all the freedom that she wants because I don't have time to fight with her. It would just cause a major rift and a big gap between us, and I'm not completely ready for that. Words like entitled, bitch, selfish, and self-serving loser became normal to me because these are the words that she always says to me. I couldn't deny that she hates me to the bones, and her manipulation extended beyond emotional torment. She rules over the house, especially in serving my husband and kids. She wielded her influence most deviously in the kitchen, where she assumed control of meal preparation. Little did I know that Greta had a sinister plan brewing beneath her nurturing facade. I have noticed that every time Greta cooks, especially when she's angry with me, I feel uneasy. It feels like my stomach would twist and my allergies increase every time I eat the food she cooks. And the weird part is, I'm the only one who feels it. The rest of the family seems to be normal. And I knew that the pain is intended for me alone. My stomach would feel pain as if someone is squeezing it inside. My arms and thighs would have itchy red spots, and sometimes it could cause me a heaviness in breathing. I made sure that we don't have all the foods or ingredients that could cause or trigger our allergies, especially black pepper. So I could not blame the ingredients, but these symptoms can only be visible once I ate an allergen. We made it very clear inside the household that allergy-inducing foods must not be mixed with the food we ate because it is a major health hazard. I talked to my husband about this, but he couldn't tell whether it is caused by the allergen, but it is very obvious. I don't want to drop names and accuse someone without evidence, but I know that this has something to do with my mother-in-law's hatred and grudge towards me. And I was right. It wasn't long before I connected the dots. The unbearable stomach aches and bouts of vomiting that plagued me after every meal were not mere coincidences. I discovered the truth. It was a normal afternoon, and it's been a while since I felt awful with the food I ate. I was working remotely and felt hungry, so I thought of cooking something for me and for the kids as well, a little snack. I was glad that my mother-in-law was not in the kitchen and I could finally have full control of the room. I checked the pantry for something to eat and I saw something, a suspicious small jar. I opened it, and by the smell of it, I coughed. My eyes widened as I realized the scent. It is black pepper! I closed it immediately and put it away from me. I knew something was not right. I'm pretty sure the black pepper has been sprinkled onto my food many times and is only intended for me to poison me. My mother-in-law was the only one who has access to the pantry, and she made sure that I shouldn't get inside because I am too busy for cooking, and you can't cook because you're not even a mother and wife material. And now that I'm inside, I was so shocked that she had been hiding black pepper inside. So this means that she's the one to blame? She has the main access to the pantry only. My eyes widened in fear and shock as I tried to process everything. My mother-in-law had been secretly poisoning me all this time. She intentionally added copious amounts of black pepper to my dishes, knowing all too well that both Leo and I were highly allergic to it. The one rule she was fully aware of was to never include black pepper in our food. I couldn't let Greta's treachery go unnoticed any longer. Determined to expose her, I began meticulously documenting her actions. I endured the pain and suffering, gathering evidence to unveil her true nature. So the next day, I secretly installed a hidden camera, and every time she would prepare dinner, it would record her. I must have caught her in the act, and it has to be now while I'm still working at home. And one fateful day, as I was checking my emails, I heard that she wanted to cook dinner, so I reviewed the camera's footage, and I caught her in the act. I saw her preparing the food on separate plates, and only one plate was sprinkled with black pepper, and it must be mine. And she did it so great because every time I eat, I would never realize that there is black pepper in it. The revelation was like a bolt of lightning striking through my veins. The disgust and anger welled up inside me as I confronted her, my voice laced with a mixture of fury and disbelief. I immediately went down to the kitchen and I saw her innocently preparing the food, and I confronted her immediately. "Greta, I have had enough of your games. What did you just put on my plate?" I talked to her in a tone that she never heard before, and she was shocked that I was too bold. She turns towards me, feigning innocence, and her face is full of false concern.
What are you talking about, dear? I didn't put anything on your plate.
I was so shocked when I saw her concerned face. Why is she acting up? So I looked around, and there I saw my husband coming in from the front door. So she's going to play the victim now, huh? My frustrations boil over and my voice trembles with anger. "Don't lie to me, Greta. I know what you have been doing. You have been poisoning me, adding black pepper to my food, even though you know I'm allergic. How could you be so cruel?" She was so shocked by my accusations, her expression quickly shifted from innocent to defensive. I intentionally shouted so that my husband could hear it, and to let him know what his mother is doing.
Oh, please, don't be so melodramatic, Nicole. I would never do such a thing. You're just trying to make me the villain in this situation.
I slammed my hands on the counter, my eyes burning with intensity. She pretended to be shocked as I saw my husband move towards us, and then she fakes a cry. "Oh, please, here we go again." "Enough, Greta. I have proof. I have been documenting every single time you have tampered with my food. This ends now." My husband stood beside me, completely confused.
What is going on here?
Your mother is trying to... Nothing, son. Are you tired? You can rest upstairs. I'll call you when the food is ready.
Greta tried to divert my husband's attention to her and instructed him to take a rest. So, as a mama's boy, my husband followed her orders. That was my chance to expose the truth. As soon as my husband was out of the picture, my mother-in-law's attempt at playing the victim infuriates me even more. So I walked in front of her, but not a single hint of guilt was found on her face. She even smirked at me. "I trusted you, Greta. I thought you were family, but you have been intentionally harming me, trying to break me down. Well, I won't let you win. I won't let your twisted games destroy me. I have evidence." Greta tries to maintain her composure, but it starts to crack when I point to the hidden camera which is not completely hidden from her anymore. The panic in her eyes started to grow.
You're being ridiculous, Nicole. I would never hurt my own son's wife. We're a family. You're just making up stories to drive a wedge between us.
My eyes blazed with a mixture of anger and sadness. Look at that, Greta. I've recorded everything. It's all right there. Your betrayal, your manipulation, you can't deny it any longer. Greta's eyes flicker with panic as she realizes her game is up. She stumbles for words, her voice trembling, but she picked up her pace once again.
I didn't mean for it to go this far. It was just a way to assert control, to remind you of your place.
Well, Greta, your games end here. I won't let you hurt me or my husband any longer. You will face the consequences of your actions. But Greta smirked and even chuckled, unbothered by everything.
Really? So are you going to tell your husband my son? Will he believe you? I am his mother. He will listen to me and will obey me. Keep that in your mind.
We'll see. I said it in a very strong tone. I stormed out of the kitchen, leaving Greta behind. The weight of the truth hung heavily in the air. Greta, now exposed, was left to confront the consequences of her malicious actions. But this time, fate took a twisted turn. We proceeded to have dinner as if nothing happened. My family was so oblivious to the argument that transpired earlier. I was so hesitant to take the food, but I took an anti-allergy tablet before, so that whatever she puts in there won't hurt and affect me. Because I want to be strong, I will expose her right now. But my husband started to cough and shouted that his tummy hurts. I quickly responded to him and I checked his food. There are black pepper in here. And then I realized in my mother-in-law's panic earlier, she mistakenly switched our plates and Leo unknowingly consumed the poisoned meal. Her plan backfired. As Leo's life hung in the balance, a fire ignited within me, a relentless thirst for justice. At that moment, revenge consumed my thoughts. Greta's actions had shattered our trust and endangered the life of the man I loved. She would pay for her betrayal. I called an ambulance immediately and Greta was so shocked that she even cried, realizing her fault. The medical team rescued him immediately and took Leo straight to the hospital's emergency room. While Leo was fighting for his life in the hospital, I unveiled the evidence I had gathered to him and the medical staff. The shock in their eyes mirrored my own as the truth spilled forth. Greta's mask slipped, revealing her true nature to the world. The doctors explained the consequences and the issues it would cause to our health, and it turns out that my mother-in-law doesn't only put pepper in his food, but also poison that was meant for me. All this time she was planning to poison me, and the day that she orchestrated it, it backfired on her and my husband was the one who got caught on the bait she severely planned. So the authorities got her. Greta's arrest marked the beginning of her downfall, but it wasn't enough to quench the thirst for vengeance burning within me. I knew that to truly break her, I had to dismantle the empire she had built. With Leo's unwavering support and my newfound strength, I meticulously unraveled Greta's web of deceit. The wounds from Greta's betrayal ran deep, but they fueled our determination to rebuild our lives. My own family, I never got the chance to decide for them and live with them. Together we forged a path based on trust, respect, and resilience. We surrounded ourselves with a supportive network of people who uplifted us and helped us heal from the scars of the past. As we emerged from the darkness, I couldn't help but reflect on the power of resilience and the strength that lies within us all. Greta's actions had threatened to break us, but instead, they ignited a fire within our soul, a fire that propelled us forward, stronger than ever before. Our journey wasn't just about seeking revenge, it was about reclaiming our identities, reclaiming our voices. We refused to be defined by the pain inflicted upon us. Instead, we embraced our newfound freedom, embracing the opportunity to live life on our terms. In the wake of Greta's downfall, I realized that true victory was not in seeking revenge, but in finding inner peace and forgiveness. The weight of carrying hatred and bitterness only holds us back, so I made a conscious choice to let go, to release the shackles of anger that bound me. As time went on, we found happiness and fulfillment in the simplest of moments. Our love grew deeper, our bond unbreakable. We built a life filled with laughter, joy, and a renewed sense of purpose. We became a beacon of hope, proof that love and resilience can triumph over even the darkest of betrayals. And so, our story stands as a testament to the power of the human spirit, a reminder that in the face of adversity, we can rise above, transform pain into strength, and find redemption in the most unexpected of places. Though scarred, we emerge from the shadows as victors, forever resilient and forever free.